While everyone's talking about the Z Fold 7, let's talk about the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. And whilst we are still in the midst of foldable excitement, there's some new information that we're starting to see come through that's getting us pretty excited for the next Galaxy S26. We've been loving the S25 Ultra. What Samsung have done with the S series this year is really refine the hardware down to a really comfortable level. 218 grams, only 8.2 millimeters thin, great set of cameras, great flagship performance. It's a pretty incredible device as a slab phone. Doesn't mean it's perfect. So the S26 series from next year can address a few things. And here's 5 things we're excited to see from the next year's S series. The first one is a new 3x telephoto camera. Because this one here on the S25 Ultra has been around for a little bit too long now. Yes, it's got dual pixel autofocus, which does give it a fast focusing speed, but the sensor size and the resolution is just too small for the demands of a modern smartphone camera user. 10 megapixels, f2.4 aperture, just not enough anymore. So we're excited to see if Samsung upgrade this. There's a lot of rumors saying that it will go from a 10 megapixel to a 12 megapixel 3x telephoto with an expanded footprint regarding the sensor size. But obviously this is all rumors. We're still probably 6 months away from this thing. But we're excited to see if they upgrade it, and hopefully it does get that because it does need it. There is a rumor alongside that Samsung could upgrade the 200 megapixel camera as well, still maintaining a 200 megapixel sensor, but potentially shifting to a Sony one with a better aperture and maybe slightly larger sensor size as well. We'll wait and see, but that's from the camera front what we can expect, at least, or start to get excited for. Second thing we're excited to see is upgraded charging. Now, at the moment, there's 2 schools of thought that Samsung will upgrade the battery to 5,500 milliamp hours, or they'll upgrade the charging speed to 60 watt fast charging. If Samsung slim the phone down and they don't upgrade the battery tech, then a 60 watt fast charging is sufficient with the 5,000 milliamp hour capacity. I think that, plus the sleeker design, plus the faster charging, will actually give users a better experience. I don't think, though, that 45 watt is bad. An hour to top up a phone from 0 to full is not a long time. And the first half an hour does about 70-something%. So I don't think it's necessarily needed. I maybe would prefer the bigger battery, but if they can't make it work for the S26 Ultra, then I guess we'll take 60 watt fast charging, even though I charge my phone wirelessly overnight anyway. Number 3 is a new Snapdragon chip. So obviously this year Samsung went with the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, which gave us incredible fast performance and gave us sort of efficiency alongside that as well. Great battery life, good camera processing. There was a lot of advantages that brought. But what we're likely to see next year will be the 8 Elite for 2. 8 Elite 2 for Galaxy. Got that mixed up somehow. And that, I guess, will again further advance the performance forward. It'll be interesting to see with the Z Flip 7 getting Exynos, whether Samsung put any Exynos chips in the S26 lineup to maybe reduce costs and balance it out across the lineup. But we're not too sure. The lineup's actually going to be really interesting. There's rumors that it's going to be S26 Pro, S26 Edge, and the S26 Ultra. Again, we'll have to wait and see. A big highlight of the launch of the S25 series this year was the launch of One UI 7. And it pretty much overhauled Samsung's entire software update policy. So what we're expecting from the S26 Ultra is not a new One UI version like we normally get with the launch of the flagship, but a 0.5 version. It's been a while since Samsung have done that. So obviously One UI 8 just launched with the foldables, so we're probably expecting this to launch with One UI 8.5. And it probably still will bring a host of new features. Samsung still like to put new features in their flagship as opposed to waiting for a software update to do it. So this will likely get a host of new features anyway with One UI 8.5, but that's probably why it's a 0.5 update, not a 0.1 like they normally would do, because there's going to be a lot of new stuff. In terms of what we can expect from One UI 8.5, not sure. That'll obviously be a wait and see. Again, we're still 6 months away. You can likely see, though, new Galaxy AI features, which should be nice. And then number 5, I kind of already alluded to this fact, but it will be a lighter and thinner design. There's a lot of rumors floating around there that Samsung are trying to get this down to under 8 millimeters, so within the 7 mark, which for an Ultra phone will be crazy, especially as probably the last sort of big phone that feel like that was probably the Note 10 Plus. Even the Note 20 Ultra was above 8. So I'm excited to see what potentially that might feel like. But then lighter as well. 218 grams for this already is quite light when you consider the fact that it's got this massive 6.9-inch screen on the front. So I'm excited to see how much lighter this thing can go. The only thing I don't hope for is we lose the S Pen. If the sacrifice is in losing weight, in losing the S Pen, then I don't want it. I'd prefer to keep the S Pen here and it stays a little bit heavier. Because when we think about it, this is really not that heavy. You know, it doesn't add much. It's probably just more a space thing that Samsung want to preserve. I don't know. Just find a way. You know, we all want it. And by all, I mean 25% of people who use the S Pen, which is still a substantial amount of people. Reflecting back on 6 months with the S25 Ultra, I can say that probably most of those things I've said would be an upgrade. The 3x camera definitely would be an upgrade. The main camera, I don't know, this one's actually pretty good. I would like a larger sensor size for better low light capture in particular, and better video capture in low light too, and I think that larger sensor would allow for that, especially the larger aperture if that's get upgraded as well. But that's definitely one area that I can tick off and say yes. 60-watt fast charging, not bothered. I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. 45 watts fast enough. The way Samsung optimize it to get that speed boost in that first half an hour, I think is enough. There are some people who just live and die by the spec sheet, and they'll see 61 on a spec sheet and give a round of applause. But I think probably Samsung would be better off trying to find a way for silicon carbon batteries to be put in here as opposed to just making the current tech faster charging. That's just my thoughts. So 60-watt fast charging, I'm personally not as excited, but you might be. New Snapdragon chip, yep, performance upgrades are always nice. The closer we can get these things to be able to use it like a laptop, I mean, we already can with Samsung DeX, the better. One UI 8.5, absolutely. I love seeing what Samsung has in store for us with One UI software. And the lighter body. Again, as long as it doesn't intrude on the S Pen usage, I'm all for it. Because I think that's what makes the biggest difference when it comes to form factors now. It's not necessarily what you can do with them, it's how they feel in your hand. And having a lighter phone, I think, is the next step for people to experience. Because what more can a phone really do now? Let's be real. Let me know what you're excited about with the S26 series in general. Like I said, that's my list. You let me know below yours. Hit subscribe while you're down there to SamMobile TV. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.